NASCAR's reputation as a fair and even-handed sanctioning body took a beating this week.
In my honest opinion, I think NASCAR should be kissing his ass more than anything else.
I've been asked by Brian France and Mike Helton to go undercover.
Jeremy is an owner and a driver. He is suspended indefinitely as both.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Hope everybody out there is off to a great week. This is a wild episode right here. I'm going to tell you this is Steve Phelps Undercover Boss. You remember that? Well, I forgot about it too. But it's got some interesting aspects that kind of carry over to what's happening today. Also, Jeremy Mayfield. Jeremy, reacting to all the controversy that's going on in NASCAR right now. And Richard Childress possibly suing NASCAR Steve Phelps. Who the hell knows? We're going to take a look at all this stuff right here. But I want to start out right now with Steve Phelps. This is pretty wild. I honestly forgot about this, but Steve Phelps went on Undercover Boss. You remember that show where the boss used to go in, they put on the ridiculous looking faults, whatever the hell you want to call it, and go in there and find out the dynamics of the business. Well, that's what supposedly he did back then. And but it's interesting. Let's take a look at this right here because there's interesting aspects that correlate. So let's start out with this one.
I've worked at NASCAR for 5 years. Before that, I worked for the National Football League for almost 14 years.
So Steve Phelps coming in from the NFL to jump over here into NASCAR. Started in 2005. Interesting part. What do we have now? Playoffs. What do they have in the NFL? Playoffs. Coincidence? I don't think so. But that's not for me to say. I don't know. Probably more stuff out there to read about that. But here's another interesting part with Mike Helton coming into this. Take a listen.
And from an inside look, if you will, and get an idea, maybe ways that we can do our job and make it better for fans. And
so he jumped inside undercover to find better ways to connect with the fans and race teams and everything else. And what happened? Well, race fans started dipping out. Stands started getting empty as time went on. He blames it on a recession and different aspects, but also connected more with the team owners and everything else. Well, what do? We got a new car. Costs twice as much as the old car. So I don't quite know if that's the way you connect with everything, if that was considered a success. But let's take a look at when he jumped in there. And I'm going to tell you, man, I wouldn't recognize this guy. From seeing him from before to after, they did a great job on him.
This is Dion Williams. He's a retired carrier for us. He's going to kind of shadow you today.
Remember, get the tire out of the space. So step back forward.
This is hard.
So Steve getting in there, doing the legwork, seeing what these guys do. You know, you would think after that, just be kind of like, I feel for these guys. I know what's going on here. But I don't know. I don't know after all the things that have come out here recently. And also, I want to throw this in there. At the end of the episode, he told Dion when he was done with his racing career in this aspect, he had him a job in NASCAR. He's a man of his word because Dion works for NASCAR. And man, I'm going to say, great guy from everything that I know of him. We actually share the same talent agent and everything else. So, good for him with everything else. But this brings up the messages and everything else, which we're going to get to here in a second. But I want to talk about Jeremy Mayfield here for a second because this is pretty wild. Jeremy Mayfield getting vocal on his social media platforms. Take a look at this right here. This was a thing he shared from 5 Wide Sports. Obviously saying this has turned into a little bit of a clown show, a little bit of a circus with everything else. And I think if there's anybody out there who's got a right to talk about things right now, it'd probably be Jeremy Mayfield with the history of things that happened there. Not going to go into that. You know I like to cover Jeremy. You can go back through a lot of episodes. Covered a lot of his racing here over the last couple of years. But Jeremy's got on Facebook and had some things to say, including this right here. These leaked messages are just confirming what some of us lived firsthand. Challenge them and you're the enemy. Question them and you get crushed. Build something without them and you're a target. Stop serving their agenda and suddenly you're just another stupid redneck. And Jeremy went on to say, this is who they are and who they've always been behind closed doors. People calling it shocking, it's not. And now their own words are doing what they tried to do to everyone else, burying them. Suddenly, all these stupid rednecks can read just fine. So Jeremy seems to be having a little fun with the situation that's going on right now. Again, if you don't know the history of Jeremy, you can go look it up with everything that he went through with controversy with NASCAR. And, man, this right here is pretty wild, too. He shared this as well on his page, dealing with Tim Richmond. Just take a look.
NASCAR's reputation as a fair and even-handed sanctioning body took a beating this week. Quoting exclusive interviews and sealed court documents, the Washington Report concludes that NASCAR implemented its drug testing program in the fall of 1987 specifically to keep Richmond off the track. The report charges that when Richmond passed his drug test in February of '88, NASCAR drug advisor Dr. Forrest Tennant falsified the test results. NASCAR then used those false results to ban Richmond from the '88 Daytona 500.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you so much there, Ron Burgundy. It sure did escalate pretty quickly. And, man, hearing Dave Despain, seeing Dave Despain, God, such cool memories right there. But, yeah, you know, Jeremy's still out there racing, still doing good. And 2 championships in the Supercar, Grand National Supercar Series. So still making his way out there. Kind of going to be interesting to see if we hear more out of Jeremy. But all interesting topics. Now we're going to jump over here to Richard Childress Racing. Richard Childress out here saying, possibly contemplating a lawsuit against NASCAR, Steve Phelps. I don't know who the hell all is going to be in this if it happens right now. But he's got good reasons. Why not? People have been picking on you, talking crap about you and everything else. So if you don't know what's going on, which if you follow NASCAR, you got to know by now. But, yeah, and some text emails and everything else, Steve Phelps saying that Richard needed to be taken out back and flogged, apparently like an animal, or maybe it's a kinky fetish. I don't know. But also calling him a dinosaur, calling him a stupid redneck, calling him an idiot, saying he owes everything that he's got to NASCAR. Just different things that, would piss anybody off. And obviously, Richard is getting that way because Richard put out a statement, and let's take a look at this. RCR and Richard Childress are deeply disappointed by the insensitive and defamatory statements made about Mr. Childress and recently surfaced text messages between NASCAR executive Steve Phelps and Brian Herbst. These comments reflect the way certain NASCAR executives have historically viewed and treated many team owners like Mr. Childress, who have devoted their lives to strengthening the sport for its fans, its sponsors, and all who compete in it. There's more to this that you can go check out. I encourage you to go do that. But in my opinion, I agree 100% with Richard Childress right here. He's an asset. And in my honest opinion, I think NASCAR should be kissing his ass more than anything else. Because if you go back through history, in 1969, there was a driver boycott, a driver strike at Alabama International Speedway, Talladega Speedway now. And Richard stood with NASCAR, stood with the France family, went out there and raced that race when so many other drivers wouldn't. And then you got to look throughout the history of everything else with this right here. His race team packed those damn stands for a lot of years. A lot of years. I mean, you got to look at the Earnhardt legacy through there. You know, 86, 87, 90, 91, 93, 94, the champion. People was in them damn seats because of the RCR Earnhardt connection. And then you also go to, he's had the Busch Series, he's been in the Truck Series, winners, champions. I mean, so much through this. And you also got to look at the other drivers he's brought in through here. You got Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick had a legendary career over there with RCR. And now you got Kyle Busch over there, a guy who was looking for a ride, found a home over there. This is a heritage team. This is the history of NASCAR. And I think so many more people now are aligning with the heritage aspect, especially as things like this come out. And in my opinion, I think it's going to be great for people like Childress because hopefully people are going to start looking through the history and seeing why these guys are here. They devoted a life to this. They didn't start out in marketing at Chef Boyardee, switch over to another professional sports system, then come into NASCAR. Their asses have been at the racetrack all along. And I respect that. And I respect you, Richard Childress, 100%. But anyways, what do you think about all this right here? Do you think Richard should go out there and sue these guys? You think it's going to happen? I mean, come on, all these damn lawsuits. But it's what NASCAR's apparently asked for so many ways. And also Jeremy Mayfield. What do you think about his comments? You digging it? Think it's kind of cool what's going on? You think Jeremy's got the rights to jump into this and throw his words around? Obviously, very interesting with that aspect. But and what do you think about that undercover boss, Steve Phelps? Couldn't recognize him, could you? Such good work to disguise that guy. But anyways, Hope everybody out there is having a great week as always. And, man, we'll see you at the Checker Flag.